Recording in progress.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be learning modern frameworks in PHP presented by Simon Rusin. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Simon Rusin, and it's modern frameworks in PHP. So you can see my face and this description below. So I'm a senior software engineer and in a fintech startup. It's called TalkBank, and we are connecting the messengers and the banks. And today I'm like a lecturer and also judge on some hackathons and mentor for some hackathons too. So if you have any questions, you can connect me. The contacts will be at the end. So we can start. And the plan for this lecture will be, like this. So the first point will be why actually PHP, and it's not so popular for the modern developers. And I will say something different from official position of the developers, and so why use PHP among such a variety of languages. The second part will be I'll tell you about the modern frameworks, their advantages and disadvantages, and the third one, it will be summary where you will you'll be able to compare the frameworks and choose your own for your needs. So let's start. If you have questions, yeah, of course you can ask it via chat, and I will check it on the screen. So let's start. Why actually PHP? So that's the most common question, I think, today. So PHP has a lot of advantages, and the first one is the popularity. So the most popular web development language is PHP. It uses more than three quarters of the websites using it. So like these huge websites like Facebook or Wikipedia or I don't know WordPress, they are using the PHP. And if you want to check it, you can check W3 Tech website, and you'll see that PHP still has a lot of websites, and even today, and this amount of the websites, it's not decreasing. So it will be the first one, I think, in a decade too. The second reason is that it's long life cycle of PHP. So PHP was created in 1994, and it's still upgrading and still updating. And over the years, they continues to release security patches, especially security patches and some other updates. So you can trust them for the security reasons. So it's not a problem to take a PHP to choose PHP like your for your framework for your programming language. Yeah, the third one is community. PHP has a huge community, making it easy to find some information, some peers, some answers on your questions on Stack Overflow, etc., or find some additional video courses. So it's not a problem. I have a question. Okay, so why is PHP better than HTML? If you want to build some static page, it can be HTML. But if you want to make the page different from your information, for example, if you have HTML, only HTML, you will have to use a lot of pages to create Wikipedia. For example, you will have to add one new file, another one file for another one page in Wikipedia. But otherwise, for PHP, you can just make the dynamic page with the dynamic content, and the template of this page will be the same, just one template, and another layer, it will be just data, and you can connect, and you can make connect to this database via PHP and print it out on your website. Yes, the first question. Okay, great. Okay, the fourth reason is web-oriented PHP. So PHP, instead of, I don't know, Python or another languages like Golang or Java, it was especially developed for the web development. And this integration with the web servers like Apache or Nginx, and this integration helps you to make it faster and cleaner. And the next reason is available libraries. PHP also has a huge number of all sorts of libraries for all your needs, and you can find it. You can find what you need. Yes, and the number of these packages are constantly increasing. So you can still find the new packages, libraries, and it will be great for your needs. So if you think that you need something common code, you can find it via libraries, via package managers like Composer or packages.org website. And the last one on this slide is performance. So despite criticism of PHP, PHP speed, PHP has increased the speed and performed very well in recent years. So since the 7th version, PHP doing well with their execution. So it uses not so much resources like before, and it works better and faster. So it's not a disadvantage, it's really an advantage right now. So you can choose PHP like your the most usable language. Okay, so going further. Yes, the second part of the lection is actually modern frameworks and why we are here. So PHP has different frameworks, a lot of frameworks, and the frameworks helps you to make some code faster than you can do it by yourself, and it can contain some additional stuff for so some pre-built code for authorization, for the I don't know, for the storage, for the image storage, for the security, some reasons, and it can handle some route policy and another stuff. So it helps you a lot. But if you understand PHP well, you can use modern frameworks. In another case, it can be the problem because you will not understand how it works. So if you know well, the PHP, you can use modern frameworks, modern or not, it's not the crucial thing. So you can use frameworks. And what about frameworks? I will tell you about 6 frameworks, if I'm correct. Yes. So the first one is the most popular framework in PHP. It's Laravel. And here in the description below, you can see some strange information. It's not me. I took it from the official website, and it's how they feel about themselves. So if you see something strange, it's not me. So yeah, Laravel was released in 2011 by Taylor Watwell, and he's still the maintainer of this project. And you can find here the official website, and you can find any additional info there. But we're here to see some advantages and disadvantages, and that's the list about it. The first of all is beginner-friendly framework. So if you don't know what the framework you can use, yeah, you can choose Laravel. It will be really easy to start with this language, with this framework on PHP. So it has comprehensive documentation and clear application structure, so you can really easy find out what's going on. And a specialized website for the Q&A and for video courses. So you can find from the officials, you can find the video courses for any part of this framework. And it's really helpful to you at the beginning of your path, of your roadmap. Also, it has huge ecosystem. Yes, Laravel. Yeah, it's the most popular framework. Yeah, and it has a big ecosystem Some of these packages, libraries additional, are free. Some of them not free, but it's not a problem. The most usable things are free, and the core of this framework is also free. Also, it has a micro version of this framework called Lumen. So it allows you to use this convenient things like PHP classes for the data models and etc. So you can use this syntactic sugar from its big operator from Laravel, and it significantly speeds up the application. And yes, if you think about the microservices architecture, Lumen version is the best version of Laravel framework. It's fast and it's small, so it's not a problem to make it to spread it, to add new handlers for your requests for your website. Yes, for another pros and cons of Laravel, so it will be security. Laravel gives you some security stuff which included already in framework, so you cannot break it I don't know, fast. So it should be easy to you to start with this secure framework. So like, I know, like SQL injections or another problems can be solved only with the framework, without your code, without your time. So it just works. And yes, so security, the first one. Also documentation, as I said. PHP compatibility. So this framework uses the modern versions of PHP. It's great. It's also it also provides you the code reusability, so you can write one code and use it elsewhere. Yeah, it's not a problem for you, like in the question about the HTML. So for the HTML, you have to make another one page for another one, I don't know, object in Wikipedia. But in Laravel, you can, or even PHP, but especially in Laravel, you can make one template and reuse it for another pages. Also, it has great community support, so you can ask some simple questions, not simple questions, but these questions will be answered in a short time. But the disadvantages or drawbacks of this framework is that the framework's upgrades. It's the main reason why the Laravel is not the best option for you. So framework should be upgraded, and it can be the problem. So you can write some codes, and after that you have to upgrade it for security reasons, for the sustainability and this stuff. And it can be the problem to upgrade it, because the previous versions of Laravel are using some strange things for the new, some deprecated things for the new version of framework or PHP language. Also, it's not so fast like the simple PHP, like in other frameworks, but it's really convenient for you. So it's just your choice. You can choose the fast one, but on the other hand, you can choose the convenience for you. Yeah, and also has some bad practices in their code base, so you can easily find some anti-patterns of the programming, like singletons and this stuff. But for you, it's not a problem, I think. But yes, still it has some bad practices in this code. And examples of this, examples of websites are using the Laravel framework. I used invoiceninja.com. It's like yeah, so it's like it's about the invoices. Yeah, you can find it, you can check it after the webinar. And also, yeah, it's like some Indonesian websites. Laracast, it's the website which helps you to find some information with the video courses about Laravel. Yes, as I said, and it's also the forum for taking for the questions and answers for Q&A. Yes, the second one is Symfony. It's the framework which was released in 2005, yeah, by Fabien Potencier, if I pronounce correctly. And so yes, and the author of this framework is working in Sensor Labs company, and this company still supports this framework. And you can find also the official website, you can check it. But if you talk about the Symfony, it has some disadvantages, like not so easy documentation. So it has a lot of information, but it's not well structured, and you can easily it can be the problem to you to find some information, to find out something. Yes, but about if you talk about advantages of Symfony, its flexibility and extensibility. So the problem of Laravel that it's not so fast, and Laravel has a big core PHP files, and it loads it uses a lot of memory and resources. So the response for the user will be not so fast. And for the Symfony, you can customize your kernel, your core functions, and it will be not so long. So that's the reason why we are using Symfony, but not Laravel. Yeah. So the second one is robust community. Symfony is not so easy to understand from the first time at the beginning, and usually the Symfony developers are more experienced developers than the others, like Laravel frameworks. So you can find the answers for the questions that are so hard. So you can you just think, whoa, can I find some answer of some strange question? And you can find it because the other developers are good, so it's not a problem for you. Yes, it's another disadvantage. And the last one is testing culture, and I focus on testing and quality assurance. Allows developers to build reliable and stable applications. Yeah, and it makes sense. Yes, the testing and Symfony allows you to make it faster and better and more convenient. Also, I have to say about the advantages of Symfony is like good code quality. As I said, for the Laravel, it's best. It's not the best code quality because it contains some bad practices, but Symfony has the good code quality, the good core in their libraries and packages. So some Symfony packages I used in the content manager systems on PHP, like Drupal or Magento. It's the content management systems which using Symfony packages, and also Laravel is using the Symfony components. So Symfony is like the base of the Laravel. Yeah, so it's not so easy, but it's the base. Yeah, and disadvantage is that it's harder to understand it. As I said, it's not so great, well-structured documentation. And yes, it takes time to build and launch this application, so it's not so fast like Laravel. In Laravel, yes, I didn't say it, that you can start your application in one command in command line. So it's great, but it's Symfony not. It's not. It's not the point for the Symfony. And if we talk about the projects in Symfony, it's like Spotify.com, TED.com, GitHub.com. So it's big projects. There isn't it? Yeah. So it's the best advert. Yes. So it's best. Yes, the best advert for them. The third framework, it's not so popular like the previous ones. Laravel has 70% of the market, and Symfony has, I think, 15 or 18% of the market. So Luminous has less, and it's called Luminous not so long. It was the previous name of this was Zen framework, and it's this framework for enterprise. It's like it's enterprise ready solution. Yes, and it helps a lot to build your own application with some components, with some set of components. You can take only your you can take the components for all your needs. Yes, and the release year for this project is 2006. It was the release date for the Zen framework, and for now it's the release year is 2016. It's the year then the Luminous was released. Yes, the author of this framework is Zen Technologies, and you can find here the website of this framework. About this framework, I can show you that Luminous has the coupled architecture. Yeah, and it allows developers to use specific parts of the frameworks as standalone libraries. It's convenient to you if you want just take only one thing of this big framework, and you can take just this. It's not a problem for you. It's really helpful sometimes. The second one is stability. It's one of the oldest frameworks, and they take care for the unified, secure code, well-documented code. So they're trying to do their best for the quality. And as I said, it's not only stability, it's also security. They paid a lot of attention to security reasons, to security problems, and yeah, so they frequently patch their code, patch their framework. And yeah, so in this framework, you can find protection against many vulnerabilities from the scratch. I didn't find the examples of this framework because it's enterprise, and this companies don't tell you that we use Luminous. So just not enough information, but I think in the enterprise section, enterprise market, you can find a lot of solutions built on the Luminous. The next one is EE, if I pronounce correctly again. And yeah, it was released by Kyung-Soo in 2008. And it's still in version 2, but it will upgrade in version 3, I think, in some months. Yeah, and the main advantage of this framework is the speed, so the high performance, and it efficiently handles database queries, as I said about the Wikipedia and the PHP. So you have to take data from the database via PHP. So if you're using EE, you can make this queries to the database faster and easier. Yeah, so it's not a problem for you to make this query, and it will redesign your query for the best resource usages and the speed. It also has built-in packages, a large set of built-in packages, yes, including for code after generation. You can use command line for generate some code, some described code on the documentation. So you have to take standardized things, and you can make it after generation, and also allowing you to quickly start working with the application. It has like the Laravel, it has great start guide, and you can start it easily. And also it has well-designed security, allows you for easy implementation of best practices for secure code. So this architecture of this framework helps you to make your code more make your code better with the best practices like patterns of the programming and architecture and this stuff. So they help you to make to make your code better. Yes, and it's also hard to break it with some security holes. Yes, it's a problem for you to to make it. And the examples of this framework is ThomsonReuters.com, T-Mobile.com, and BNIMelon.com. You can check it out too. And the last one, the last framework is, I know, last one. Yes, I think so. So it's Falcon. It's really different from it has really different from others. So it's a PHP framework which delivered as a C extension, C programming language. So it's not only PHP inside, but under the hood, but it also contains the C code built on C, and it's the big it's a big problem for you to understand it if you do not know the C programming language. Yeah, but why did they do this? Because the Falcon is the fastest PHP framework ever built. Yes, it's true, as they said in the description. It was released in 2012 by Andres Gutierrez and some other guys, and they are now in the Falcon team, and they still continuing the some updates, making some updates still. Yes, and you can find the website here below. And if we talk about the Falcon, Falcon it's about the performance. So the main motivation for this framework and the main goal of this design of this Falcon framework is to speed up the code execution and reduce resource usage and make better the make more to make it's the last reason is to make this application better to interact with more amount of people. So if you want to add if you have a lot of people which using your site, your users, so the Falcon is the best solution to you for you to for the resource usage. So it's if you build some code which work not the best, which works not so good like others, so and it breaks with the resource usages, so the processor usage and the memory usage are big, it can be the problem. So you can use Falcon to avoid it. Falcon is not so easy to understand like Laravel or Symfony, because it uses two programming languages, and it's the main problem. And also it in documentation you can find the information that you need to add some code here on PHP, here on C, and it can be the big problem for you. So yeah, it's fast. It's fast, but it's not so easy to understand. Yeah, it's really hard to understand. But it's all, if you understand it, it's not a problem for you. So yes, it's it's a superior performance. It has minimized resource usage, and also it contains component structure. So it's also the best decision for the performance. So it can take only the necessary parts of the application, and it's not a problem for you. So what about Falcon? Yeah, examples. It's in the Vex, cloudnix.com, and katanamedia.com. If you want to check the Falcon framework, it will be harder to set it up because of the C. So, and if you use some shared servers, it can be the problem because usually these web servers are using only PHP, and it not contains the interpreter of the C, so it will be the problem for you to set it up. Yes, and that's it. So the it was the last framework in this presentation, and the last thing is which I have is the summary. So here you can find the summary table of the framework abilities. So in this case, in this table, you can find all the information, and you can compare all the frameworks and choose your own that you need. So in the head of this table, you can find the framework name. It also contains some additional frameworks like Cake, PHP, Slim, and CodeIgniter. I can slightly describe you these three frameworks. So Slim, this is framework for the microservice architecture. So if you have, if you think about the about the increasing the resources, increasing the increasing your application request per second, so you can use the Slim framework for increasing this amount of this increasing this number. And also the Laravel micro framework Lumen, it's good for this. And also Cake, PHP, and CodeIgniter, they're good decisions or good solutions for the simple applications which not contain the big amount of the services like caching, queues, databases, etc. So if you build some simple application, the Cake, PHP, and the CodeIgniter frameworks are good too. And here you can find some information about architecture, and the most of the frameworks are using MVC architecture, like model view controller. So in the models, you connect with the data. In the views, you're making the templates, as I said, like in Wikipedia. And controller make this work. So it's combine all the data from the model and send it to the view, and the view after that making the response. ORM is object-related model, and some of the frameworks are using different ORMs, and it's not you cannot find here the best solution. So you can find some advantages in an Eloquent or Doctrine or Active Record, or Falcon ORM their own. Some of the ORMs has some advantages. It's not so easy to understand at the first time, but if you will check after some projects in PHP, you'll understand that the ORM is not crucial, but really important thing for your framework. So you have to understand what the ORM and how to code your application, how to make your application better, and how to make requests to the database. And if we talk about templates, we talked about the view in their architecture. Yes, MVC, so V for views. So for the views, some of the frameworks use the templates engines. Laravel uses Blade, and Symfony uses Twig, and Falcon uses Vault. Other frameworks are using PHP built templates, and another one are also PHP based, but it's not PHP, and it's faster to make the dynamic web pages via Blade, Twig, and Vault. Yes, and if you talk about components, you'll find, I think, in the first steps, at the first step, you'll find all the packages that you need. But if you go deeper, you can find some things that which works only on some framework. And it can be the problem for the Slim or CodeIgniter or some others, but usually in this first 6 frameworks, it will be not the problem to find the correct components. Yes, and speed, Laravel fast, but it's fast if you set it up correctly. Symfony fast if you also set it up correctly, but it's easier to turn it off some packages which you don't need. I mean, it's not so fast, but it's about security and stability. EE is fast, and Falcon is very fast. It's the fastest one. And PHP, CakePHP and CodeIgniter, they have not so fast, they are not so fast, but it's okay. It's not a problem for them. And Slim framework, it's medium, but it works good with the microservice architecture. And so if you want to make it, yeah, you can use Slim. It's not the worst idea. And the last one is download. So if you see, the Laravel is the most popular framework in PHP, but it's like it's tricky one. It's a tricky question because Symfony, we can check Symfony website and we will see that they count in some downloads of some we count downloads of their packages. And if you find some packages which Laravel contains and uses too, so the Symfony will count it too. So Symfony, if we'll just check their official website, we'll find that there are some packages have more than 400 million of downloads. But if we will not count the Laravel frameworks, so it will be just 200 million without Laravel. And other frameworks are not so popular, like the first 2. And yeah, so that's it. I think the PHP frameworks can and must be used. If you will find some information about PHP that it's not so fast, it's old-fashioned. It's slightly old-fashioned, yes, but it's updates. It's updating regularly, and it's not a problem at all right now. And the PHP is fast language. Yes, you can check it by yourself too. Yeah, so modern PHP handles many tasks well and quickly, and the huge community of developers will always help you and answer a question. So I think this was the last slide, content slide, and after that you can see my strange photo with the information about me. If you want to contact me or ask some questions, you can find me via these links. Yes, and questions? Do you have some questions? If you have, it's the best time to ask a question. How we introduced to PHP? As I understand correctly, if I understand correctly, this question. How I started. Yes. So the first steps was courses of HTML and CSS. I started to build some simple web pages, and after that, I thought about the Wikipedia, but my pet project was about the cyclists. So I wanted to build Wikipedia for the cyclists, and I thought about the database, because I think, whoa, I have to create a new file for another one writer, and it's a problem. So how can I make it dynamically? So it's like only copy and paste. And I understand, oh, I can use it. Yeah, I can use PHP. And after that, I went to the PHP courses. And after that, I tried to, I tried to understand it better with some documentation and this stuff. So the first step was video courses. What languages do you code in? Currently, I'm working on PHP and Golang. Also, I know I'm using some Python, and sometimes I'm using JavaScript if I need to add some dynamic stuff on the front end. Sometimes I'm using JavaScript. And my opinion that that the Python is the most I don't know, cutest one, because it's like it contains nuts. It contains a lot of sugar stuff. Like you can use some really convenient things. In PHP, you can find some things that you'll check and think, wow, why did they decide to use this mark, this sign? And yeah, it's strange sometimes, but yes, PHP is fast too. Are there any similarities between PHP and Python? Yes, it's similar to for the they are similar for the for the reasons why you have to use it. So yes, like the Python, like and the PHP have they have a lot of frameworks. Like Python has a Django framework for the web development, like PHP has Laravel. So it's about the same things, but in Python you can find some additional stuff for machine learning, for the artificial intelligence, and this stuff. So in this stuff, modern stuff. But in PHP you can find it too. But the community of these modern things are bigger in Python. So if you think about just only web development, it's not a problem at all to use PHP. Yeah, I love Python. Yeah, I love it too. But PHP is better. Also, I know.
Okay, I think that's all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can.
so I guess thank you for presenting today. And yeah.
Yeah, thank you.